All right, before we start the video, I'll do a little disclaimer on how I'm not really an expert, in number crunching, damage comparisons, all that stuff. I'm just here to just show you guys, what it does, how to get it, and do a little bit of theory crafting, dual crafting. Mainly going to be on our Solar Titan for this gun for a build. Mainly Sunspots. You might have noticed if you've been a Titan main, you might have noticed a slight difference between if you've been using Jotunn before and Sunspots. We'll talk about that in a second. And maybe a Warlock build. I'm not really a Hunter. I do play Hunter, but I don't know. I haven't done anything with this Hunter this season yet, so I don't know what you can do with it. But we're gonna go over through everything that I can think of, right? So with that being said, let's talk about how to get it very simply. Like every new catalyst for any old exotic every season, usually just one per season. To get this catalyst, you have to go ahead and just play Crucible, Gambit, or Strikes. Any of those will work. I got mine in month of control by playing a lot. Just random chance. When the activity finishes, it's just a drop at the end screen. Get lucky, pretty much. After that, you have to go ahead and get 400 kills with the gun. I usually just go to, if you own it, the 30th anniversary, the beginning of the dungeon. Just keep farming loot cave and put on a special finisher to get more ammo, and you're good to go. Other than that, you can do the moon, I guess, Soros Harbor, or I don't know, or anywhere else that you like to use. Either or, up to you. And then after that, it'll give it 2 perks that's new to the gun, but these perks aren't new. They're not unique to the gun. Corner is old. Incandescent's a new perk for this season, which could be gotten in the newer guns as solar weapons in this season as well, which is a pretty cool perk. Now, let's go over what they do. So, cornered is when you're surrounded by enemies, you'll get faster charge time and draw time. It is faster. If you're a min-maxer, maybe it helps a little bit, but if you're not, you're not going to see a big difference. You're not going to notice. You're not going to notice it. I'll be honest. I didn't notice it. It's hard to tell unless you've been using Jotunn forever. Then we have Incandescent, which is a perk where when you defeat a target, it will spread scorch to nearby, and if it's more powerful, like an orange bar, yellow bar, or champion, it will be a bigger radius. Plus, also if you're doing PvP, you're not gonna notice in PvP, but it does work. But it's hard to tell. It won't kill somebody if you put them on fire unless they're low health, kind of thing. That's how it works. Now, what this means, because I think people have been a little bit confused on Solar 3.0. It is a bit confusing with Scorch, Ignite, and all other stuff. It's like a bunch of terms that are new to the game, and it's hard to explain. But Scorch, what that Scorch does basically is that the more you apply Scorch to an enemy, eventually they will ignite and then they will explode. What this does is that it will apply Scorch when an enemy dies. So this is a build where it requires multiple enemies in a group for it to apply the Scorch and to get any type of buff that you get from having a scorched enemy, or whenever a enemy ignites and explodes. So this is not a single target kind of build or weapon to now use for any type of buffs and passives. You have to use this gun now when there's multiple enemies for it to actually be very beneficial. Now, I could be wrong, but that's how I've been using it for the most part, right? So that's pretty much it. I'll show you guys in game of what happens here real quick. So we're gonna go ahead and find 2 enemies nearby, and it'll apply the scorch buff here. So here we have these 2 shield lurkers. We have do 1, and you can see he's now on fire, scorch, and now it'll apply the buffs. Now, what's important, what you just saw there, which I didn't really go into detail, and why this is important on Titan. So before, if you've been using Jotunn before Solar 3.0, every time you would get a kill with Jotunn, with Sunspots on, it would actually spawn a Sunspot under their feet most of the time. But if you've been using Jotunn without the catalyst this season, it would not spawn. They changed it basically because Jotunn doesn't apply Scorch without the catalyst. You need the catalyst to apply scorch because Soul Invictus only spawns when a scorched enemy dies. That's the new terminology here, right? As it says over here, right? So now you have to get the catalyst to spawn sunspots for your sunspot titan. That's why it feels a bit. That's why I felt a bit weird when I was using Jotunn before I got the catalyst this season. So now if you want, now maybe rejoice. Maybe I don't know. Sunspots are still pretty not that great, but at least you have a way to proc it. Plus, this perk is not only on this gun. You can get on different gun if you want to. So now at least you have that information on how that works. Now, with that being said, we do a little bit another test here, show you guys, you know, it's in more of an action here. So, like I've said, a single target, it doesn't work. It's just a regular explosion. Nothing, no enemies nearby, no scorch stacks will be applied. It has to be multiple targets all at once here. Let's see. Find some enemies here real quick. Let's see. There you go. By scorch, just shoot him like that, and a sunspot spawns. I mean, all those buffs on the left, right there. Look at that. What it does do, though, is that it does do an ignite explosion, no matter what. Before the buff, before it got the catalysts, and you killed an enemy, it didn't explode like that. So at least it's something new. So let's see what else we're gonna talk about. There's not really much other than talk about a potential Warlock build. One idea, which I can't test because I don't have it yet, is a new exotic armor for Warlock. Warlock got these boots here, which are called Rain of Fire, right? And what this does is that when you use a fusion rifle and you get a kill with it, you become radiant. And radiant, what that does, it gives you more weapon damage, but then there's also other like fragments and other buffs and artifact mods that can make radiant do other stuff as well on Warlock and any other class as well. So, you know, when these other ones are available to unlock eventually, you know, it's there's some builds that can be made pretty well. So I'm not gonna go through everything here and just like talk about, you know, everything, but you know, I'll give you some ideas of what you can do. It's not, I feel like it's always been a little bit underwhelming, but it's just too early. It's too early for me to really say that because I haven't been testing too much. But this stuff, it's pretty fun, honestly. But hopefully you guys see the potential of Jotunn. I like it. It's pretty fun to use. You can, you know, obviously still generate a bunch of orbs with a solar siphon or the one that matches your subclass. That's what you like. You can also put on explosive wellmaker because it counts as an explosion. You'll get wells, which then gets you whatever you like to get. Well of life, which then gives you healing, regeneration, anything you like to use. It's all up there. So I don't know if this video, it's maybe useful, maybe not useful. At least sunspots are kind of back with Jotunn, this catalyst, but I don't know, up to you of how you see it, but I do like it a lot. Maybe you will too, I don't know, I'll be honest, but hopefully you guys kind of enjoy it, kind of find helpful. I don't know, lots of things you can do for sure, but I have no idea, I'll be honest.